In 2026, local payment methods like PSE, Nequi, and PIX have entirely removed the main barrier to entry. But that access created a new problem. The market is now flooded with over 50 different brokers, tools, and prop firms, leaving most people paralyzed by the options. Mismatching your tools to your trading style costs you money. You cannot use a high-latency copy trading broker for rapid scalping, and there is no point paying for elite charting software if your goal is just to passively save. There is no single best platform. Finding the right tool means matching a broker's specific trade-offs directly to your personal constraints. This chart maps these four profiles: the beginner, the copy trader, the pro, and the dollarizer, against the effort and required capital you have available. We are going to build the exact tech stack required for each specific quadrant to help you choose where you belong. The rule of broker economics is simple. If a platform gives you extreme convenience in deposits or built-in community tools, you pay for it through slower execution speeds or wider spread pricing. Figuring out exactly which of those trade-offs you can afford to make is how you stop hidden fees from draining your account balance. If you are starting out with less than $100, you need educational support and frictionless local deposits without paying massive SWIFT transfer fees. Brokers offering $1 minimums and direct integrations with apps like PSE and Nequi perfectly solve this friction. This table contrasts a standard account against a raw account. To get deposit convenience, you use a standard account. It advertises zero commissions, but artificially widens the spread. That widened spread acts as a hidden toll on every trade, subtly reducing margins. These highly accessible platforms also tend to operate under Tier 2 regulatory oversight, like CySEC in Cyprus, rather than the strictest global authorities. As a capital-constrained beginner, you accept slightly worse pricing and protection in exchange for absolute convenience and the ability to start immediately. Then there is the copy trader. You have the capital to invest, but you lack the hours required to manually analyze charts every day. Social trading networks and smart portfolios allow you to automatically replicate the positions of verified experts. The primary danger here is slippage, which is caused by execution lag. If a broker's latency is high, the market price moves in the milliseconds between the expert sending the signal and your account actually executing it, guaranteeing your returns are lower than the advertised figures. You also pay wider spreads on these trades to subsidize the platform's infrastructure and cover the signal provider's cut. Surrendering active control means you must rigorously audit a provider's historical drawdown. The convenience of automation always introduces severe latency costs. The pro or scalper profile requires deep market analysis, high-frequency execution, and the absolute lowest possible transaction costs. This requires a raw ECN account to secure zero-pip spreads and sub-100 millisecond execution speeds, surgically limiting any slippage on fast trades. When you are risking significant capital, Tier 1 regulatory protection from institutions like the FCA is an absolute necessity. The barrier to entry here is steep. Expect high minimum deposits and complex manual funding logistics through SWIFT or Cripto, typically without direct local support in Latin America. You also take on the additional overhead of paying monthly subscription fees for elite external charting software to process your data. Professional execution strips away all beginner conveniences. It demands high effort, significant capital, and friction to achieve mathematical trading purity. The dollarizer lives in a high-inflation economy, like Argentina. Their primary goal is protecting their purchasing power, not active day trading. Dedicated offshore brokers allow these users to legally bypass local currency depreciation by purchasing fractional shares of U.S. assets. This long-term strategy requires total regulatory safety, specifically oversight from the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission and FINRA, backed by SIPC insurance. The trade-off is that these platforms strip out advanced derivatives, high leverage, and complex charting tools to keep things simple. For the dollarizer, maximizing asset security and hedging against inflation completely overrides the need for aggressive short-term trading features. The ultimate rule of the 2026 Latin American trading landscape is this: never mix your archetypes. This flowchart breaks down the primary decision node, determining whether your main goal is passive income, active trading, or protecting your savings. If you have low capital and want to casually learn, route yourself directly to friction-free standard account brokers. The high capital, active scalper needs raw ECN brokers, while the high skill but low capital trader should look toward prop firm challenges. The passive user follows the path to copy trading networks, keeping a close eye on the risks of slippage. The right platform is not the one with the most flashy features. It is the one where the fees and functionality perfectly align with how you actually interact with the market.